Rules of flow in construction, synchronization. I love this topic because if we're working in one piece or one process flow, that's great. But on construction projects, we have lots of different trade partners that must work in a synchronized manner, all together with the same timing, with the same intersections, and with the proper overlaps, right? That is the way that we succeed. You know, one secret that you know, because I love you and you're gonna like and subscribe, but like that nobody else knows is that the project will only go as well as all of the trades do well together. The project will only go as well as we basically in accordance to how we treat trade partners, right? When the trades succeed, we succeed. When the trades win, we win. And so it's easy to be good. It's hard to be good together. Let me say that again. It's easy to be good on an individual basis, but it's hard to be good together. So great. We're doing one piece flow. We're doing one process flow, but can everybody do one process flow together on the right rhythm in a synchronized way? That is the trick. So if you're into that, please stay with us in this video. Okay, so absolutely love this topic. Let's talk about synchronization. So synchronization, the topic here is, can we synchronize our tasks? When I think about getting in sync, I think about a couple of different things, right? So in a time by location format on a TAC plan, you're starting to see a theme here. I love TAC plans. But if you have one trade that's going from zone 1 to zone 2 to zone 3 to zone 4, the idea is, can we get the second trade to go either exactly or relatively close to the same speed? Can we get the third trade to do the same thing, and so on and so forth? All the way on down the line where we have a consistent line of balance. Now, if we can't, and we're in a time by location TAC plan again, okay, there's nothing wrong with having a main tact plan or main tact train within the phase, and then having, like, let's say, another activity that has a separate line of balance, as long as the intersections are managed. So one of the things that I want to say is we can be in sync with the rhythm. We can be in sync with the I'm going to say probably interconnections, because it is the intersections, but it's basically where these two lines of balance intersect. The other thing that I want to say is that if you have, let's say for instance, you're going to erect air handlers on the top of a building. So I'm just going to do this elevation view. Here's the building, here's the air handlers, right? You have to synchronize the start date for the actual crane. You have to synchronize the delivery of the air handlers themselves. You have to synchronize the installation crew and the manufacturer's representatives who are going to do the checkout or actually help assemble the unit. You have to synchronize that the chilled water and the heating hot water are going to be there at the right time, in addition to the permanent power, right? So anytime that you have multiple activities coming together, you need to synchronize the target milestone that has multiple activities or multiple timelines is what Kevin Rice would say. So when I'm thinking about synchronization, I'm really looking at it from that standpoint. Let's just take a quick break here and talk about turkey dinner. Like, one of the ways that the Goldrat family explains synchronization is like turkey dinner, right? The family is going to eat at a certain time, and you've got to bake the turkey, get the gravy, the stuffing, all of the drinks, everything set up 100%, all to come together at the right time, and everything has to be done at the right rhythm, and you can't have one resource, whoever's in the kitchen cooking, be overburdened with too many tasks at one time, so you have those intersections as well. So again, rhythm, interconnections, and then the tasks coming together all need to be synchronized. If you remember, from a lean perspective, lean in construction is respect for people, number one. Number two, stability. Okay. Number three, one piece flow. Then four, flowing together. So this concept of synchronization is really getting everybody on a flow according to attack time. And then, like you remember, 5 visual systems, and 6 is continuous improvement. This is what we're talking about. And if you really want to be lean and you want to flow, you've got to really take care of this, especially if you have multiple value adding units and multiple value receiving units in an operation or in a system. The reason that this is so important is because this is brilliant, actually. I'm really happy about that. I love this video. I hope you love these Gold Rats Rules of Flow videos, because these are fantastic. And I think you're going to love the visuals as well. So if you don't synchronize, let me show you what will happen here. Like, let's take this example right here. Let's say you have your first activity and this one's longer, right? And I've shown you this before. This is going to get out of sync and it's going to be massively delayed. So you got two problems here. One, you have a line of balance here. You have a massive inefficiency gap here, a second line of balance, and then this one you have gaps. So not being synchronized in the overall rhythm of the TAC plan is just detrimental. Right, with your interconnections, if you have a multi-train TAC plan, if you're not actually able to synchronize this intelligently, then you would end up with, and let me just go ahead and draw this over here, right? You would have your main flow of work, and then if you couldn't synchronize this, then you're going to have to literally take this other train and put it on the back side of this, and it's going to extend the overall duration instead of being able to fit it together. I would say an interconnection standpoint and a meeting all at the same milestone standpoint, I'll call this the milestone synchronization, is that if you have, like, let's say one thing, let's say the air handlers don't show up and there's a delay here, well, you're going to delay the install crew, you're going to delay the crane, you're going to delay the traffic control that's on the site. It's going to affect a number of other things. So having a focus from a project site standpoint on the rhythm, interconnections, and the milestone is absolutely crucial. And I will say one of the key things that we want to do here is level. One of the things we want to do here is strategize. One of the things we want to do here is consider having a buffer at the end of each of these, right? So maybe your air handlers will have a little bit bigger of a buffer, the crane a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of a buffer, and you'll be able to adjust and align this better if you have buffers. If you don't have buffers and this gets delayed, then everybody will be waiting on you. So each component of the project must come together going the same speed, the same distance apart, but also at the same times and also at the same intersections. The key here really is when you do your planning, when you do your preparation, and when you do your release. Like, I like this example the best of the air handlers. I'll actually tell you a legitimate story. I was in charge of the MEP and interiors as an assistant superintendent or area superintendent long time ago for a cancer center. And I'll tell you what happened. We had to coordinate the permanent power and the chilled water and the pumps in one of the lower level rooms, and the install crew and the air handlers and the crane and the traffic control, the shutdown, and get all of this coordinated all at once. And the way that we did this was by releasing each of these at the right times. And I remember the chilled water was crucial. We had an inclination from historical research that we would need a bit of a buffer. Actually, it was about 5 weeks, because the install of the underground chilled water lines, which were massive, and the connection to the chilled water plant, typically didn't hit on time. So we added a buffer. It was a 5-week buffer, actually. And we added a 2-week buffer for permanent power, and we had a couple-day buffer for the air handlers, and we actually gave them a staging area. And because we actually released them at the right time, did the right planning with full kit, and aligned them with the right buffers, it all came together in a seamless operation, and we had the air handlers running in time to blow cool air throughout the building, and it was absolutely fantastic. So that's a real thing. So I just want you to remember that being good is easy, being good together is hard. So it's not too hard to respect people. It's a little bit harder to create stability, because keeping things clean is pretty hard. Getting people to work in one-piece flow takes some effort, but getting them to flow together is the general contractor's job. And if you think about it, the superintendent is like the choir conductor, and all of the trades are like musicians. The musicians know how to play their instrument. They're counting on that GC, that superintendent, to get them in rhythm and to get everybody synchronized. That is their job. And if a GC is not doing that, they're not doing their job. And so this is so important to us running lean projects that I'm going to create a Canva graphic for you, a blog post, and link you to Goldrat's Rules of Flow. Absolutely fantastic book. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.